I'm Char Alberto from the Honda Philippines Academy Manila Racing Team, and you're watching the Asia Motorsports Hour.
In our A to Z of the Asian road racing scene, Z is for ZK Racing, as racer turned manager Zulfami Khairuddin runs the rule over his young team ahead of the 2021 season.
Asia Racing is one of the platforms that we need to go through. This is just a championship that we need to pass before we go to Europe or some other championship.
J is for Japan, where Suzuka hosted another masterclass from Katsuyuki Nakasuga as he made it 4 wins from 4 at the All Japan Road Racing Championship. T is for Troy Alberto, as the Philippine superbike racer tries to make an international name for himself. ZK Racing Team are one of the more recent entrants to the Asian road racing scene. Toes were dipped into the water in 2018 when ZK Racing Teams competed at AP250 and Supersport 600 categories. But it was 2019 when we really sat up to take notice of the team as the Noradin boys, Adam and Ibrahim, helped themselves to 8 podium finishes. Adam with 2 wins and 5 podiums and 3rd overall in Supersport 600. Adam also posted a win for the team in the one round of 2020, whilst Ibrahim finished 3rd in Sepang. So we've invited Zulfami Khairuddin, the team manager of ZK Racing, just to tell us a little bit more about the team. And firstly, Fahmi, it's great to have you on board. What is the long-term ambition of ZK Racing?
Hi guys, thank you for inviting me. Long-term career for my team is we always want our riders to go to MotoGP. This is the aim. This is the aim for me and for my team, and also the riders who is with me in the team. So yeah, the Asia Racing is one of the platforms that we need to go through. I think this is just a championship that we need to pass before we go to Europe or some other championship.
So these are big ambitions. It's largely a local young Malaysian team, particularly the Noradin boys. Is that a deliberate philosophy of ZK Racing?
Well, about Ibrahim and Adam, I think we were very lucky to have first we have Adam on board together with us since 2019, and then I can't remember how Ibrahim was coming, but I think he at one race in Australia he made a replacement of Adam, and then he did good. He made pole position, and then he scored podium. So the year after 2020, I give him a chance to ride in the team together with his brother Adam. So it was good. I think to have brother in the team is not easy, but I'm lucky that I can manage both of them in the good way. So they are pushing each other. Race 1, Ibrahim got 3rd, and race 2, Adam got 1st in arrc.
It's great to have your experience there to help them through road racing. Are you able to announce your teams for the 2021 road racing season? They're both, I'm assuming, they're both in racing Supersport 600?
For now, we are confirmed to have Ibrahim on board for 2021 660 class. But Adam will not be racing in arrc. He will focus more in a European Championship Moto2, and we might have one bike more in AP250 with Daniel Sharmi on board. But now we are still talking with some sponsors. We might have another riders on board, so I really have to wait. sign the agreement with the sponsor.
Sponsorship, of course, all important, but it's great news that Ibrahim is there. Daniel, Sharmi is one who you've shown responsibility to in the past. He's already had one season with 250. What are your hopes for Daniel? Is he good enough to go to Europe? Is he good enough to go to the Worlds?
Well, yes, he made a really good progress from 2018, and then he got injured. At the end of 2019, he was in the hospital the whole year 2019, and then 2020 he is back in racing. So I believe Daniel is really competitive rider, and now we need to make our bike competitive because FP250 is not an easy category. We are using Kawasaki, but one of the strongest manufacturer in FP250. So hopefully we can give Daniel a competitive bike and to make him fight for the victory.
For our classic race involving ZK Racing, we take you back just 13 short months, a dramatic crash and a victory dance following a frantic finish for the Norodin brothers. And Norodin. He's all set. And we are underway. 8 laps of the track. Restart after a red flag. Norodin again gets off well. In the back, Minimum Moto. That's a fine start from the man in yellow. He's got himself up to P3. Bike number 22. This time he's staying way out of trouble, as are all the riders, and Norodin is beaten to it by Ratapong Willarot, who goes into the first corner in first place, Steve Martin.
That's a much better start by Ratapong Willarot. Brilliant start by the number 56. Remember, this guy is a champion from a couple of years ago, moved up to the ASB 1000 class last year. He's come back to the 600 class, and now, after yesterday's result, he didn't do too much yesterday, but he's showing us why he won that championship. He's leading the way at the moment, is Ratapong Willarot for the Thai Yamaha team.
He is indeed, and he's taken Adam Norodin with him. Helmi Asman just behind them in third place. This is a truncated 8 laps of the track for the Supersport 600cc race number 2 at Sepang as they go out into the country for the very first time, and Ratapang looks like he is riding well. He was faultless for the crash that he was involved in, but nonetheless his bike did need plenty of repairs, and so he's got to have plenty of trust in his mechanics, and it looks like he has. Ratapong still leads with Adam Norodin just behind.
How frenetic is this up front at the moment though? Azroy Keane there, Helmi Asman in third position, sideways off the track. Through to the front goes Adam Norodin.
Adam Norodin prefers to be at the front. He does like the dueling, but he didn't like being behind Ratapong Willarot. Willarot, though, has responded instantaneously, has taken the inside track. Ratapong ultra competitive, and Adam Norodin under pressure, not only from Ratapong, but also Azroy Hakim Anwar as well. We have got 7.5 laps to go. Adam Norodin on the inside. He forces Ratapong out wide, and for the second time in 3 corners, retakes the lead, Adam Norodin.
Well, this is some serious 600 racing. We've got a massive freight train of riders with Adam Norodin leading the way. Azroy Keane now up the inside, making his way forward. He wants to get on the podium like he did yesterday and perhaps take another victory for the Bunsu Honda racing team.
Yeah, Ratapong Willarot in the blue livery. He was really leading the race, but he's now dropped, what, 20, 30 bike lengths back away from the race leader, Adam Norodin. Once Adam Norodin got past him, he's been able to drag along Azroy Hakim Anwar, yesterday's winner, and these 3 are pulling away. I think that's Ibrahim Norodin as well, the yellow helmet of Ibrahim Norodin. Help me, Azroy Hakim goes on the inside of Adam Norodin as they come into this long straight once again, exactly what he did in the same place in the last lap, Steve Martin.
Yeah, interesting to see that he's used that move a couple of times. He can carry that tighter line. And how does that work for him? Hard on the brakes, and he leads as they go into that final turn. And look at that, it's Helmi Asman who's caught that gap back up and puts himself back in contention for the podium.
So this is bike number 20, Azroy Hakim Anwar looking for a double. Adam Norodin looking for a little bit of redemption. Straight line speed from Adam Norodin. Zach Wanzadi looks on, but it's the bike number 20, Azroy Hakim, who just loses out that battle as they come up the hill. Adam Norodin leads the way. Ibrahim Ibrahim Norodin behind, and Helmi Asman as well. These four breaking away from the rest of the pack, although Ratapong is doing desperately a lot of work to try and stay close.
It's Ibrahim up the inside there. Norodin, oh, side by side, but it is brothers 1 and 2 at the moment, with Adam Norodin first and Ibrahim Norodin in second place.
Helmi Asman has dropped a little bit off the pace. He's more than a second off Ibrahim Norodin in P3. Well, it's now Azroy Hakim Anwar in P3. Azroy Hakim.
Apache ZK Racing 1 and 2. New team into the championship, good to see.
Adam Norodin, though, looking absolutely in full control.
Yeah, Adam Norodin out front. He is looking as smooth as you like, and starting to stretch the field open. 1:11.0 last time round for him. His brother almost an identical time. As they head into that important part of the track, Azroy Hakim can't make the move that he's been making. They head onto that back straight now. It's all about the slipstream, and I'll tell you what, Ibrahim looks like he's up for the win. He's on the slipstream, he's on the inside now. Can he do it? Can't do it. It looks like Adam's taken the wide line. The brother's gone out wide. Azroy Hakim's there. Helmi Asman's run out. He's out of this. This could be on.
From Adam Norodin. Ibrahim is pulled outwards. Ibrahim loses. Adam Norodin takes it. There is a second place here for Azroy Hakim. Third place for Helmi Asman, and a catastrophe for Ibrahim Norodin.
Well, we knew it was going to come down to that final corner, Des, and how many times have we seen the action packed there? Incredible stuff. You've got to feel sorry for Ibrahim Norodin, but he went for it. It didn't pay off. Azroy Hakim was there. They collected each other on the inside, and Helmi Asman said thank you very much.
He cannot believe it. He is on his knees. I don't think in pain, but in absolute frustration. What the heck have I done? How can I lose this? My word, these Norodin boys have had one weekend of emotion. Our focus moves from Malaysia to Japan via the Philippines after this short pit stop, as racer TJ Alberto helps us review events at the All Japan Championship in Suzuka from last weekend. The Idemitsu Inquest looks back on events that have happened in the world of road racing, and joining us to analyse events at the All Japan Championship, I'm delighted to welcome TJ Alberto, who'll be racing in the 1000cc category, the superbike category in the Asia Road Racing Championship. And TJ, we asked you to keep an eye on what's been going on in Japan, and it's a series that's being dominated by Katsuyuki Nakasuga. Another 2 wins at Suzuka for Nakasuga. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, that's right, as we saw Nakasuga take 2 victories in the last race weekend, so that's race 1 and race 2.
We've got footage from the All Japan event at Suzuka. In race 1, it was start to finish, quite straightforward. Race 2, though, Nakasuga didn't get off to the best of starts, and at the end of the first lap, he found himself in P4. How difficult is it to make your way through a crowd when you've had such a slovenly start?
Yeah, so for sure that shows all of us how high the level of Nakasuga is for him to come through from a bad start and take the win, just like in race 1 where he got a good start. that shows he's clearly above the rest in terms of his level right now. So I'm sure he's running well, and the team is working great for him.
And there are some good racers there. Kainori is very, very good. And Kageyama, who's from Team Kageyama, a private team. There's good level of racing in that 1000cc in the JSP competition.
Yeah, so that's right. So we saw Kageyama in the first race take the podium. So that's quite a good result for his team of his own name, Kageyama team. So really looking forward to seeing him in the next race and see how he goes.
He's won 4 races out of 4 so far. You're an ex-Philippine champion yourself. How difficult is it to maintain the momentum throughout a long season? Because 4 races out of 4, but there's another 5 rounds, 10 races still to go.
Yeah, for sure. We all know that when you're the front runner, you may be in the lead, but that also means that you have a target behind your back. It's difficult also as a top runner because he's thinking probably of the championship, so he needs to score points and consistently stay on top. But at the same time, he can't risk too much and risk losing out on one race with a crash.
The defending champion in the All Japan Championship, Nozane, he's moved himself up to World Superbike level. And Troy, there was some testing that went on in Aragon over the weekend, and Nozane was very, very credibly 7th fastest. That tells you a lot about his abilities.
Yeah, that's very good for Nozane. For his first time to test in the World Superbike level, it's a very good result to be inside the top 10. And a 7th place really shows his level. So I'm sure he's only at the start right now. He's still adapting, maybe learning the new bike, the new team, the new tires. So we'll definitely see some improvement from him as the season comes.
You yourself have had to make the elevation from Philippines to Italian to Asian level. What adapting does a rider have to go through? What has Nozane had to deal with in this transition?
Yeah, like for example, when I did the Philippine Championship, we were running Pirelli slicks. And then when I did the European Superstock, we were running Pirelli DOT tires. So though they are the same brand, the grip level is completely different. Same with the circuit. I'm sure Nozane is seeing the difference with the grip level in the circuit of Japan versus the ones of those in Europe. The grip level is can change quite a lot, and also the characteristics of the circuit. Same also when you change specification of bike. I'm not sure about the All Japan road racing technical regulations, but I think there would be quite a difference between that and the World Superbike grid.
We keep it in the Alberto family after this choral interlude as Troy Alberto looks ahead to his first full season riding for Honda Philippines in the Asia Road Racing Championship. The Philippines will have representation in the Supersport 600 category when the Asia Road Racing Championship gets underway in 6 weeks' time for the 2nd straight season. Taking the lone seat with the Honda Philippines Ricardo Manila Access Plus racing team will be a young man by the name of Troy Alberto. Last season, the same combo debuted at Sepang and picked up respectable 9th and 10th place finishes. 20-year-old Troy is the ingredient in this partnership that makes a compelling storyline for Honda's One Dream campaign in the Philippines. And Troy joins us from Manila via Zoom to talk about the season and his plans. Troy, firstly, How much time have you had to actually ride a bike since last season's debut at Sepang?
Hey Des, so far not so much because of all of the restrictions with the virus, but I've been able to ride a little bit, and I hope to be able to perfect the setup of the bike and perfect my riding before the season starts.
Okay, so you're actually registered for the Asia Road Racing Championship. What are your realistic targets for you and the team for the 2021 season?
Well, from last year, I did, I think, reasonably well at my debut. For this year, I just hope to progress even more, maybe top 10 finishes, and then hope to be closer to the top 5 at the end of the year.
Excellent. I need to ask you about your backroom staff, because obviously you're relatively inexperienced at Asia level. You've won championships at Philippines level. Who's your backroom staff, and what experience do they bring into the pit lane?
Well, most of the people that we have right now from our team in Honda Philippines, Academy Manila, are our team also in the Philippines from the last few years. So we've been racing for the past maybe 2-3 years with me, and then even more with TJ and so on. So together we've been riding quite a long time, but not yet so much in the Asia level.
Okay, so it's a very tight-knit crew. Are you going to be competing on the Philippines domestic circuits as well?
For this year, our plans are mainly to focus on the Asia Road Racing Championship, but I hope to race in both to add more experience.
Talking about experience, you were involved in the Asia Talent Cup, riding Hondas both in Thailand and on that Asia Championship where you got a top 20 finish. What lessons do you bring in to motor racing from those Talent Cup experiences?
Well, my racing experience there, it was really challenging to race with those guys. Like in the Asia Talent Cup and Thailand Talent Cup, there are guys there that are now racing in like the Junior World Championship and also in the Asia Road Racing Championship. So I think what I learned from there is really just to be smooth, be always focused on the race, and just to keep pushing hard.
Are there any technical tips that you were able to pick up though from the better teams, or riding tips of styles of riding that you've been able to follow?
Oh yeah, also for sure, because in the Philippines there are only really a few fast guys and you can learn only so much. But when you're there, I learned so many different riding styles. Like a lot of people brake a lot later than I'm used to, and some people take a lot more corner speed. So really just finding the balance between all of the riders and making the best for myself.
Excellent. I can't not have an interview with Troy Alberto and not ask you about your brother TJ. But my first question is, does it annoy you that you can't be interviewed and not be asked about your big brother?
No, not really. I'm really used to it, and I like really to talk about my brother and the relationship that we've had through racing.
Who is the better rider?
Me, for sure.
Terrific answer. Listen, Troy, great answers. We look forward to seeing you when the Asia Road Racing Championship gets underway. Any quick words for your sponsors, just as a final word?
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. Thank you, Des. And thank you to all of my team that support me, Honda Philippines, Asus Plus, Okada, Ayala, and all of my personal sponsors and team. Thank you guys.
Troy Alberto, who will be representing the 600cc at the Asia Road Racing Championship, is our subject for this week's 10 questions. Troy, when did you first start racing?
I started racing at 5 years old.
What was your best memory of racing so far?
My best memory so far is finishing in the top 10 in the Asia Road Racing Championship.
Your worst memory?
Splitting my bike in half in my first race in the Asia Talent Cup.
Very good. Who is your favorite racing competitor?
TJ Alberto.
Your brother. Gosh, keeping it in the family.
Yeah.
Very much indeed. Do you have any superstitions before you go into a race?
Not so much, except I always put my right glove before my left glove.
Do you have a favorite racing circuit?
Thailand circuit. Buram.
In terms of diet, you look a fit young lad, 20 years of age, no spare fat on you. But if you were allowed to eat any food, what would you choose to eat?
Philippine food. Adobo.
What's your idea of the perfect holiday?
Perfect holiday, always a day at the racetrack.
Besides racing, are you good at any other sport?
Cycling, if that counts.
Cycling certainly does count. And if at the end of your career there were 3 words to describe you, what would you like those words to be?
Really, really fast.
Really, really fast. Troy Alberto, racing from the Philippines. More of our countdown to the Asian Road Racing Championship on the Idemetu Asia Motorsports Hour. Same time, same place, next week.